Girls.
Oh, we're on camera?
Yes, we're on camera. It's already started recording.
Okay. So, Bilna, how do you feel being host to my show? I just didn't want to be only a mom.
I know, it's kind of like a...
she's just a mom.
Homemaker. Yeah, just a mom.
Just a mom.
Just a mom.
Women who just have a desire to do something, they still come to our club. They're so comfortable talking about it. And I think that's one of the beautiful things that I have seen in Homepreneurs Club.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the Bilna Sandeep Show. A lot of times I'm always getting asked the question, how do you manage two different sectors of your business, like two different businesses, Homepreneurs Club and our marketing agency, BML and Groovy. So today I want to break that secret to you. I am introducing you to two powerful women who are the secret behind running both my businesses. So Anjum, welcome to the show.
Thank
Anjum
you.
is the community manager for Homepreneurs Club, and Saniya, she is the marketing head for my marketing agency. Welcome to the show, both of you.
Thank you so much.
How are you guys doing? How are you today?
Great. We're doing great.
We're pretty nervous but excited.
That was an honest reply. So let's get kick started, right?
Yeah.
So how do you find being a working mom, Anjum? How's it?
It's difficult, but yeah, it's...
What inspired you to become a working mom? Like a lot of moms make a choice after they have kids, right? Some of them quit their job, some of them want to go full time, some of them want to do different types of work. So
Okay, I just didn't want to be only a mom. You know?
I know, it's kind of like a lot of people probably like when we go to parties, birthday parties of our kids and every time, and then they say,
just a mom.
Homemaker. Yeah, just a mom.
Just a mom.
So that is what actually made you to go out of it.
They don't know the weightage of just.
How it actually gets here, right? When they say the word just a mom.
Yes.
And in fact, that's the toughest part of our life, I believe, right?
I think that's a full-time job with... Like you have to work at night also, morning also.
It's a full-time 9 to 9.
9 to 9.
12 to
12
12.
12 job. So I was speaking with somebody, okay, so it's in fact one of our clients for our marketing agency. He was telling me, your team was telling me we don't work on weekends. So I thought, okay, maybe it's a negative comment. Then he was like, no, I'm not telling it in a negative way. You know what, we never stop working, especially you guys as a moms. You're weekends are more work than actually going to the office, right?
Correct.
So I think that's what we all come from that, and that is what actually inspired us for the Homepreneurs Club as well, where we have all the women entrepreneurs that come together. How's your experience of you have also been now visiting our club meetings, so how was your experience?
I think one beautiful thing about Homepreneurs Club that I would like to bring it here is that I have seen, of course, the business women that are doing business and they want to connect, they want to network in the club, are a part of a club. But I could see that there are so many people, so many women who just have a desire to start a business, and they feel so comfortable still to come to the club and network with people. Like they don't know what they want to do, but they just want to do something, and still they're comfortable coming there, talking about themselves, telling that yes, I want to be there. Because I have been to a lot of clubs, and even after having a business you're not comfortable telling about it. But here women who just have a desire to do something, they still come to our club, they're so comfortable talking about it. And I think that's one of the beautiful things that I have seen in Homepreneurs Club.
Nice.
Yeah,
and I think you enjoy the most about it.
See, I am in and out of it every day.
And you are the one who actually keeps the club together.
Like in an day and night, I must say. It's there. I should be talking as a
Probably you can say
who
something
represents the club.
When you actually, before joining the club, what you thought about it versus after being the backbone of our club. What's the difference you feel like?
Okay. So I used to look at the club before joining as a community manager. Probably it was something like I want to be a member of the club. So I really didn't know how these kind of settings work and things like that. But when I became a part of it, when I represented Homepreneurs Club, then it was a very different picture that I got. We right now, I think we have about 70 plus women entrepreneurs, and they are very different. We have new entrepreneurs, we have seasoned entrepreneurs, we have ladies who they're working very rigorously on their yet to launch ideas. So you get a lot of learning, you get a lot of inspiration and motivation.
Very true, very true. For me also, every club member I meet, I learn something new from them, right? And it's not just about their business angles also. Sometimes the way they take their business to the next level, and when they tell us the stories of how they started off, you know, and their backgrounds. And I think because it's a membership, we keep meeting each other a lot of times, and that bond is just
building again, growing.
Slowly, it just
it's
grows,
more of friends
right?
coming together and talking to each other.
I always use this classic line saying, we're all on our own different path, walking along with somebody who's on their own different path.
Yes.
So
that's a beautiful thing.
That's
and one thing that holds us all together is that word you said, the desire.
The desire,
The
we
desire
have a common
to be
goal,
something,
you know,
right? The desire to be something.
Yeah.
It can be in our personal life, or it can be in our business or whatever, but desire to be successful. And that success might mean different to every one of us. Yesterday in our meetup, there were a few of them who were coming for the first time for a networking meet, right?
Yes.
And I remember they were kind of trembling when they were going to just speak in front of the audience. But I can see the glow in their eyes after they did that. Because they conquered that. That was something they felt like, okay, I can never do it, but they did it, right? And now I'm sure the next meetups they come, they are gonna be
more
like
confident.
the more confident versions of themselves.
See, I think that's the beauty when you start doing things consistently.
Yes.
For me, see, even today when I stand in front of a crowd, I'm really nervous. I'm very nervous when I stand.
I don't think so.
No. I really get very nervous.
I get all the energy from Anjum when I'm in the club.
My God. But when you keep doing it, then you build that confidence in you to face the crowd, to talk. You are trembling. That is there. That's the fact. You know, you
I
cannot.
still tremble. People don't believe when I say that. See, I tell you. A lot of times people say, you are doing a podcast, you are on the mic, you are taking the mic on the stage. But believe me, I still get those shivers. I'm just good at hiding them. I think that's the key. That's the yes. For me, it's a lot of effort going to a networking event, speaking. I need to go into my shell after that. For maybe one day I have to complete. So yesterday I was telling Saniya, I'm not coming to office. I need my Zen moments.
See, that's the fear of unknown. I always tell myself, you know, before coming to an event, our club event also, I stand in front of the mirror. I always try to rehearse like, hello, welcome. But when you go there and stand, then you're like, okay, I'm blank. What do I tell now?
Very true.
So that fear of unknown you overcome only when you jump and do it.
Jump and do it. Yes. A lot of times women also come to us saying that I have a business idea, but I don't know where to start. I tell them, you just join the club, because you get a lot of energy and a lot of inspiration seeing other women. And when you relate to their stories, when you talk to them, you understand they're just normal people just like you. It's not like they are something huge, or everybody is going through that struggle every day of our life, right? It's just more like we don't know what others are going through. We feel, okay, they have it all sorted, but I believe it's not sorted for anyone.
No, it's not.
Nice. How important is to have a spouse that supports your dreams?
Okay.
That's a good question.
That's a very good question.
they will be very happy us speaking about them.
Yes. So
that doesn't happen usually.
See, I think it's very important. I know, at least I can talk about
your own.
Only
right?
my husband.
Yes.
See, he's pretty busy all the time and everything. But when I really need that support, like today,
He's taken a leave, right?
He's off. He's at home.
Yes.
So he's going to pick up the kids. But he will not do that every day.
Yes.
So he knows that when I need it, that fallback, yes, he's
you always
there.
have that shoulder to rely back on,
yes,
right?
yes.
What about you, Saniya?
Okay. I think for me, he is very supportive, very supportive. I don't even have to communicate to him that, there's something coming, and he's so happy with all the achievements. And even if I had to come here, he knows that what's required, what's not required. He has to take care of the child. And I think it's the society is changing, people are changing, men are changing. So I know a lot of women say that men are like that, men are like that, and they are being I think pushed down. In terms of my husband, he's an amazing person. He's into logistics, so he's super busy but still he takes care that how he's gonna take time for family, for me to achieve my dreams. So I think it's really important to have a very supportive spouse if you really want to do what you want to do in your life. So
But you know what, despite the fact that we've been evolving in the past decades,
Yes.
there is always this thinking in the society that the primary role of a woman is to be a mother, a good mother.
Yes. And the pressure, the guilt.
Yes. Yes.
And I think no matter how much you achieve, you're just being judged. For a very funny story, I have a friends group and we are all doing great in our lives, and I messaged them because I just switched my job, so I just wanted to tell them. So I said, there's a good news, and they said, oh, you're having another child.
I mean, good news. Tagline of good news. Right? The moment we say good news,
exactly.
Are you pregnant?
Are you pregnant? So I was like, okay, but can't anything good happen to me other than being a mother only? So no, not that. It's something different. So I think it's in their brain that the motherhood comes first, and I think it's different for men. If men says the same statement, they okay, you got a new job or you got something new. But if a woman says that, it again comes to motherhood. And working women, I think we get judged a lot of times, but I think I'm very happy that I'm working because my son is looking after me, that my mom is doing more than she should do. And he's learning more, and maybe if we sit at home with each other, it will be a fight between us. But because there is a distance, he's learning new things and I am doing what I love. So
you all have your own spaces, right?
Spaces, exactly. And I think he's learning more than I could have taught him when he was there at home with me. So I think all motherhood is priceless. Every mother, whatever they are doing for their child, a stay-at-home mother, a working mother, whatever it is, I think they're doing the best. So we are nobody to judge anybody,
Very true.
So that's something I believe in. So if somebody comes to me like, Anjum, you're I think you are managing work also and you're managing your child also. That's you know what's good for your child. And so similarly is different for different women.
See, when you realize that you cannot do it all.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's when
I think that realization is the most important part.
It's very important.
You have to prioritize. You have to I learned to say no.
That's another huge important
I
part
literally
of
learned to say no because that expectation that you will do it. Then you learn to say no.
Yes, this is not what I am. And learning to say no is, I think, one of the most important parts of our life, right? Because the moment you learn to say no, especially to your close and loved ones,
correct,
that's the toughest part. I mean, if somebody who's not very close to you, if you're okay to lose them, it's fine. But there are people in our lives who are very near. So I had a very experience recently when I was on vacation. One of someone who's really, really close to me, somebody I can never afford to lose, told me, you are the cruelest mom in this world.
Oh. And for what?
Because of my business.
Oh God.
But they're only seeing a part of me. They're not living with me, right? But I didn't fight. I didn't try to resist. I just accepted. I told them, okay, it's fine. I accept that. This is what is right for me at the current situation of my life. But even now, though I tell people about mom guilt, you have to do what you want to do, the sound of those words, it actually rings in my mind.
That guilt comes
Because
still.
if it's somebody, just my neighbor or someone who says that, it won't kill you, right? I mean, you can just get rid of it. Okay, it's nobody. But if it is someone who really means close to you, and they make a comment like that, it's very hard to overcome that. But then I have also like made a pact with myself. I know what I am doing. Like there are days which I am not able to make myself available for my kids. Like maybe it's due to my business or maybe whatever it is, right? Maybe I might have to go out. Maybe I might have to come late one day. But next day I try to make up over the next weekend. But I think it all comes from inside. Like it's very hard to accept some facts, but but like you said, we have to accept the fact that we cannot have it all. And then every time we compromise on one side of life. So people ask me, like, being the child of a working mom, do you think it was advantage to you, or is it good to be a working mom's child? So I always tell it in two perspectives. I myself, my mom was working throughout every time in my life. I've seen her working. And while I was growing up, I felt lonely. Because my mom was working and I was the only child. I didn't have anybody else to play. So when we were in, I grew up in Bahrain for most of my schooling time. So she used to also, like after school, she was a teacher. She was also used to take tuitions. So every time I used to feel like I'm alone, I tried to play with the kids that come home for tuitions because they were the only people I had as friends. So that time I felt lonely. But now I know that's what made me the strongest.
Yes.
Right? So now even for my kids, I know there are a lot of things that they miss because I work. But I feel in the end, it's going to be in some way they're going to become adults. So now for me, it helps me in such a way, okay, even when the guilt hits, nothing bad happened to me after that. Right? So this is what about you guys? Do you think being a working mom's child is a good or a bad?
Okay, I don't know how this comes, but I have a slightly different view on that.
Yes.
My mom was working ever since I understood life. I have seen her doing her 9 to 5, 9 to 9. In fact, she just retired July 31st.
Oh, yes.
She's 62. She retired at 62.
Wow. Nice.
So I was a child of a working mother, but for me to learn the value of determination, passion, hard work from her, I think I got it only when I was able to understand those traits.
Same.
Right? Yeah. When you're able to understand,
now when I put up myself in their shoes, now I completely understand everything she said at that time.
If I was maybe a little younger, or like, I would not have understood. It's like with my children, my elder one is 10, mashallah. And when she sees me as a working mother, she learns from me. She takes it from me.
Yes.
But my younger one who's 5, mashallah, for her, going to office is nothing but having makeup on and colorful dresses.
Yes. That's perspective according to the age, right? Yes.
So when the time is right, I mean, whenever you feel the time is right, it has to happen.
Yes.
That's really good learning for them as well. It builds you.
Yes. What do you think?
So I would say that I have two very beautiful women, my mom and my mother-in-law actually.
Nice.
Which is something different usually. But my mom was not a working mom, and even my mother-in-law was not. But I think both of them teaches me a very nice teachings in my life, in that my mom, so my father supported my mom in every aspect. If she wants to do some course, she wants to update herself, she wants to drive. In our family, it usually doesn't used to happen, but he gave her all the opportunity to explore, and for that reason, she gave all of those teachings to me. And I think it's very important to know that she has supported me in everything that I wanted to do, just because my father had that support. And I look up in the same way for my husband to support me, because now I have that comparison. And my mother-in-law, I think it's the beauty of staying in Dubai, or maybe staying outside a zone where a lot of relatives are not there, or an environment is not there where a lot of people are kicking your heads with different some thoughts or something. So I remember while in my pregnancy also, she supports me in tremendous ways. When I tell her that I want to eat something, she makes it.
Yes,
and the whole pregnancy time, everybody used to tell me those horror stories that we usually hear,
Yes,
this will happen, you'll go through tremendous pain, blah blah blah, don't go here, don't sit like that. She used to tell me, just chill and do not listen to anything.
Any stories.
And do whatever you want to do in your life, really. Like, go wherever you want to roam, do whatever
That's
you want
the best
to
thing
eat.
you can have,
Yeah.
right?
And literally, I listened to her, and trust me, I had the best days of my life in my pregnancy. Even till my 9th month, I was like really going
Running
here and
around.
there. Yeah. So it's very important to have women supporting women, which we
Nice.
do in our club
Club,
also.
yes.
If you are supporting other women, you will have a better future.
True.
You'll have a better family, better happy family. So it's very important in today's world. Yeah.
Very true.
Bilna, I've heard from many of our club members, or they're not really members, but they come for the networking meets. They say they're not able to make it to the meetups or anything, or they don't want to take up the membership because it requires a commitment of
Yes.
taking up the lessons and everything. So what would you tell them? Because they're also
Yes,
mothers, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. On how they can really make use of the club, right?
Yes.
So in our club, we have done it in 2 areas. One is the networking element of it, and one is the learning element of it. So we have most of our lessons, webinars, they are online, so that they don't have to actually come, because again the travel part is not required. And to make it even better, we have also made sure that the recording is available. So like if somebody joins today, they're going to get like last 2.5 years of lessons to just binge watch at any time. Like the common thing which you always tell, right? It's like Netflix, right? You watch, like instead of binge watching the movie, you get to watch those lessons. So those learning elements, even while you're cooking or packing dishes, lunches for your kids, or, you can have it playing, because those learnings, sometimes we feel like, okay, I don't need it in my business. But there are some things like, it just strikes, like the one whole lesson, like one whole webinar, when you listen, maybe that speaker might have shared like 10 points, but maybe if you implement one of it in your business, maybe only one is relevant to your business, but that might make a huge difference,
Yes,
right?
yes,
And
yes.
that's how we all take one step at a time. Like maybe sometimes your kid is very small, so the demand is more, and probably you cannot afford a house help or somebody like that, right? So in such situation, but still there are some things you can. So in that case, we want you to just spend some time learning and just write them down for the time when your kid is going to go to school, because that time you're going to have better time, right?
Correct.
Whatever situation you are in, make the best of what you have now and then go to the next step. Now regarding the networking element, again we have online networking options and offline networking options. So in-person meetups, we have like every first Wednesday of the month we have in Dubai, and every last Wednesday we put it in Abu Dhabi. So we just launched in Abu Dhabi as well. So we want to make you comfortable to come out of your comfort zone, right? Because I myself have been a stay-at-home mom. When my son was small, I had taken a career break for around 1.5 years. I remember I used to sit and cry because I didn't have a network. I didn't have a car. I couldn't drive, and there was a time when my son had a lot of speech delay and such issues. So people were telling me, you have to take him out to play with other kids. And I was staying in Abu Dhabi at that time, and I didn't have a driving license. I didn't have any close friends staying nearby. And my husband, he used to be busy with his work. He used to come home late with some projects. So I used to just walk to the park, taking him in my hand, and I remember literally crying and thinking, I wish I meet some family who I could actually meet, But again, I was just persistent, going out every day, though I didn't get any family to mingle with, but I just did that, So it's all about trying to come out of your comfort zone with what you can. If you cannot come for the meetups now, it's fine. At least try to join the online networking. Again, for the members, we have a WhatsApp group. At least be active in that WhatsApp group, and you don't have to connect with all the 70 members.
Right.
Even if you can connect with 5 of them and make them your friends, your life is going to change, right? right? So this is what I tell people, like whatever situation in your life, don't compare with the ones who has, you feel that okay, they have a maid, they have a house help, they have funds, they have a driving license. If you don't have it, do what you can at this point, and you're going to reach that point in few years time, or depending on how your life takes, but only if you take that action now.
Right. Because you have a child. I think even our club meetups are very flexible. We have women who come in with their children.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is also, we encourage women to come out, because we just want you to come out and let your kids also see that mom has a life outside this circle, right?
Yes.
Your mom's role is not just to feed you, make food for
Feed,
you.
cook,
She also
clean. Feed, cook, clean.
Yeah, feed, cook, clean is not just her role, right? She also need a life outside family and outside the family friend circle, and that's what we want the women to do. And the whole, so when I was setting up the club initially, this is what I had, the emotional part which I had in my mind is I am seeing myself in that every woman that comes there, right from the situation which I was in at that time. That was 8 years back. Now it's a completely different situation. So I myself see that my life situation has changed, but that's only because I tried to take that step. And then at that time, to get a driving license, I used to drop my son at one of the places nearby for like just few hours, so that I could just go for the driving classes. And it was an effort, but I just did it. And then he started his play school when he was 2.5. At that time I didn't have the resources to have a maid at home, so we put him in a school, and they had extended daycare when I started work. So when I started going back to work, so but of course you cannot have it all. There's a bit of emotions that comes with it, especially as a mom. I know, though we try to stay strong, but there are days we break down, and I think we should all normalize those breakdown moments as well. And sometimes even the support from spouse, right? We want them to support, but they also have their own jobs. They also like we said, we never talk about the emotional side of men, right? So when we say when a woman chooses to stay home, that is also the moment we are giving the financial responsibility to the husband, right? And probably he is worried, how am I gonna pay for the school fees next month, the utility bills next month? But we never talk about that side of things, right? We always say, okay, my husband is not supportive. Probably it's because he's tensed about a lot of things which he's not opening up also. So.
See, they also have this thought in their mind that she has given it up for me and my kids.
So that's a guilt for him.
Yes. I have to make it up, right? I have to do it, and
I have to do my best for them.
They do that,
which they don't actually tell. So I think when we talk about the supportive spouses, we also, for me also personally, when I was quitting my job, that means it takes time for the business to build, right? So it's a decision we took as a family. I told my husband, but if he was not working, it would have become really difficult for me to really start that business, because one person having a income was important for us. So I always feel that, okay, so he's not the kind of guy who would come and help in the kitchen. Okay, so cute. And initially I used to feel like, okay, he's not a modern husband, he's not supporting me like the other husbands used to do. And what I realized was he doesn't enjoy cooking. Okay, even I don't. So we came to a point, it was very difficult at some point, and after getting a house help, the issue was sorted. We both don't enjoy, we both are career people, we love our career or we love our jobs, so we just got someone who was doing it, and after that the life became peaceful. I would say. But I think there is an expectation now in the society that men should take everything half, right? I mean, that's what we want.
The new modern society.
Yeah, that's what the modern society wants us to do. But he is one person who didn't grow up seeing that. So for this men also, it takes time to reach there, right? Because though they are well educated, but they came from a situation where they have always seen moms doing everything at home. So it's a transition for them as well. But when I see the bigger picture of it, without him I would never have started my business. And so he's the one who, he doesn't cheer me every day and tell me like you're doing a good job.
But he knows you're doing a good job.
He's not that kind of person who expresses it. But I would say without him, I wouldn't have done anything that I've done over the last 2 years in our business.
Correct.
So he's that silent, strong pillar of support on the back end.
Silent cheerleader.
Yeah.